Welcome to Unity Inspired Living. Our community began in 1989 as a small worldwide Unity book study group, and we've continued the momentum as an ever-evolving spiritual community. Each Sunday, you will find dynamic thought leaders delivering inspiring messages and talented musicians sharing sound healing through their melody. Here, we embrace ancient spiritual traditions, universal truths, and emerging wisdom. Let's check out this Sunday message. We're so grateful you've joined us. We love to see when you arrive to our space. Let us know that you are here with us. Just wanting to take a minute right now to center and circle Southern California, LA area in prayer. Just watching here from afar of what's going on there has been heavy on the heart. So if we could just take a moment to unite in prayer for all the people affected by these fires, knowing that the source of all life is the strength and peace in every situation. And we affirm that even in the midst of destruction, renewal is always at hand, guided by divine intelligence. And we call forth protection and comfort and healing for all of those impacted, and trusting that safety and restoration are unfolding now. And we bless the land and the people and the first responders, knowing that all is in divine order. And we hold the vision of peace amidst this really big, destructive looking change, trusting that this experience is part of the greater unfolding in this mystery of life, and praying loving strength, embrace and hold all the people of these areas affected by the fires. And we release this word in love, for love, and as love. Amen. Ashe. Thank you for holding this space. Feels like when there are destruction and disasters anywhere on the planet, we all are impacted. We can all feel it. So thank you for holding this loving space. For that part of California, being our home state, it still feels home for me. California will always be home for me. Hi, Carol. Carol says, good morning, beautiful family. Prayers for California families. Yes, thank you. Thank you, beloved. Yeah, we walk through some big things in life, don't we? Yeah, Jan's here. She says, good morning, all. Welcome, Dennis and Brittany. We are so blessed. Indeed, we are. We are so blessed. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and tuning within to your center with us this morning. My name is Amy Van Ling, and I am blessed to be in sacred service as the spiritual director here at this phenomenal community, Unity Inspired Living, where we make it our purpose to be a safe environment for everyone to recognize their true essence, allowing this momentum forward into stepping into the divine design of your life, however that unfolds for each one of you. And this is a place where you can tune into the center, tune into divine intelligence, and tune out of the world of appearances and external forces, and really be with the power and presence that is never in absence. And a place where you can feel safe to open your hearts and receive the divine download. And we love doing that here and making this space available. Our theme for January is Peace Amidst Change, and our 2025 annual theme is Living in the Presence, the Unfolding Mystery. And as we remain in this flow of life, we come to understand that change is always an invitation, right, to grow, and not necessarily something to fear or constrict away from. And a long while ago, I heard something that resonated with me, and it was Michael Beckwith who said it. And he said, pain pushes until vision pulls. And when we align with that divine vision, we see beyond the surface of, life's challenges, if you will. And we recognize that peace is always present, even amidst change. Even amidst change we didn't necessarily invite in. It wasn't part of the manifestation list, right? So by anchoring ourselves in that unfolding mystery of spirit, we allow peace to guide our steps, and trust that there's a greater purpose being revealed to us through each phase. So we're finding peace amidst change this month, and really every day of our lives. And I like to think of using a divine vision to find that peace. So thank you for being on this journey with us. Today, we are truly blessed to welcome back Dr. Dennis Bradford. He's bringing us a message of growth and transformation, and his words and approach will inspire us to embrace our highest potential, in the face of all of this life's unfolding mystery and journey. And today's talk is entitled Homo Spiritus, and we are super excited about diving into this talk. And we're going to make space in the workshop time for a Q&A, a deep dive Q&A after the service today. So we're going to take that over to our Zoom link, and everybody is welcome to come into that space with your questions, your comments, your thoughts, and really dialogue there this afternoon. So thank you so much, Dennis, for giving us your sacred yes, being with us this morning. We are so very grateful for your time and your essence. We also have our beautiful Brittany Gilmore. Let your hearts be open to her sounds of healing and joy as we welcome back this truly gifted human being. She has an ability to touch our soul through her music, and it is an amazing, uplifting space. And so just prepare yourself to be uplifted and inspired by this performance that will resonate with you all day and probably throughout the rest of the week and maybe even the month, because that's what Brittany does. So thank you, Brittany, for being with us this morning. We're so grateful for you. We have our very own divine and amazing Nancy Pimentel here to share our community announcements, our inspirational reading, and our message of abundance with us this morning. And we are always so truly grateful for you, Nancy, your essence, your dedication, and your love that you pour into us. We are grateful. I am so delighted and grateful to have these spectacular souls on the screen that you see in front of you. And I'm equally as thrilled to have you zooming or tuning in through the Facebook live stream. We're Zoom and Facebooking, and this all comes together so perfectly that we get to be together. And I'm so grateful that we get to join in this sacred space. So welcome. Let me check in. I know that we have a lot of you tuning in this morning. Hi, everybody. Carol is here. Jan is here. Luinda, good morning. Carol, good morning. Kathy, good morning. Pat is here. She says, howdy, Dennis. Kathy says, good morning. Jennifer's here. Good morning. She says, Sunday morning blessings to all. Welcome, Dr. Bradford and Brittany. Yay. Hi, Bob. Bob is here. Welcome, beloveds. We're so grateful to gather together in this space. Thank you for joining us, spectacular souls. I am so grateful for your presence here. Florence is here. Welcome in. Good morning. We see you logging in. We love you. We bless you. We see the light in you. We are going to get started with enlivening our mission statement. And so if you would, with me, just feel into what we are all about here at Unity Inspired Living. We are fostering love and wisdom. We are inspiring transformation, offering compassionate outreach, and embracing unity. And as always, we are so grateful to be on this journey together. It makes a difference to be on such an important mission, moving as one unit, united. So thank you. We are going to open with our community song. So I'm going to hand the screen over to Brittany, and she is going to take us away and bring us into this high vibrational field. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you. Good morning. I love what Amy just said. I can't remember the exact words, but about peace and peace remaining during pain, during chaos, during change. And this is a very familiar song. Let's just let it be an affirmation of who we are and what our current state is. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. And joy. Oh, I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. Peace one more time. Oh, we've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Thank you for singing with me. I feel the love and the unity even through the screens.
Yeah, it's one of our favorites, right? It's just such a joyful song. I love it. Thank you so much, Brittany. Sometimes you bring out these classics for us, and it's just like it's like comfort food, but in music form.
Right.
It's like macaroni and cheese, but in a
It's so
song.
good.
Thank you, beloved. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen over to our beautiful Nancy this morning for our community announcements and our inspirational reading. Thank you, beloved.
Good morning, everyone. Here are a few important announcements for today and the rest of January. We look forward to Dennis's Q&A Zoom workshop, which follows the service beginning at 11:30 to 12:30. You'll find the link on our homepage at unityinspiredliving.org. All are welcome. We are asking everyone to complete a new membership form, which can be found on our website. Please print it out and fill it in and bring it to our community circle Saturday, January 18th, or to our in-person service on February 2nd, 2025. You can also just answer the questions on a Word doc and email that to inspiredliving@unityinspiredliving.org. Or you can take a picture of your responses and email it to Amy or Jan. In addition to the very important membership form, we are also asking for your feedback in our community engagement survey, which is also available on our website. Please return it to us at our Saturday community circle or the in-person on February 2nd, or do the same as you are doing for the membership form. You can also find it at our website at unityinspiredliving.org or in a special emailing early in January. We so appreciate your feedback and look forward to receiving it by the first Sunday of February. On each of these, when you email it in, please be sure to fill in the subject line with either the membership form or the survey form so that we know exactly what you're answering. We are looking for a team leader and members for a compassionate outreach committee, so please consider this very gratifying opportunity for service and connection with those in our community. Contact me or Jan. January's monthly meandering is a fun day of sound healing and Reiki at John Shin's home. It will be from 1 to 5 on January 25th in Pleasant Hill, and the cost of the group sound healing is $30. You will also have opportunities for individual sound healings and Reiki, and those will be offered for a love offering donation. Jan's book group started up last Tuesday, January 7th, and will continue every Tuesday at 1:30 on Zoom with Volume 2 of the Way of Mastery Pathway of Enlightenment, which is the Way of Transformation. All are welcome, even if you have not read Volume 1. Thank you so much for listening, and now for our inspirational reading. Today's reading is from the Daily Word and is entitled Inner Peace. I take time for God and know peace. The more I take time for myself to commune with Spirit, the more easily I carry the peace of God with me in every situation. Like a musical instrument, I bring myself into accord with all of life as I spend time in prayer, meditation, and the beauty of nature. Through regular practice, I develop the ability to feel infinite peace within. Feeling my connection with God doesn't require money or material items. No matter where I am or what I'm doing, I can access ever-present tranquility. Knowing the peace of God is mine brings me a deep sense of bliss. The more I devote myself to communing with God in prayer, the easier it is to bring myself into harmonious alignment with divine peace and discover serenity everywhere. Numbers 6:26. The Lord lifts up his countenance upon you and gives you peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for all of that. I know there was a lot to announce, and that was a beautiful reading to bring us into a centered place of peace. Thank you for you. We're grateful. I'm going to hand the screen back over to Brittany. She has another song for us this morning.
Thank you. This is going to be another classic comfort food type of song that you're going to know. I think that the words of this one, Let It Be, I interpret this as when we declare let it be, it's not necessarily about not taking action or not taking control over your life in any way. I think it's about just understanding that the peace internally is what is going to change our hearts rather than the external circumstances. So join me with this one. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in this world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And there in the hour of darkness, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. There will be an answer.
Oh, one of our favorites. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Thank
We're
you.
grateful. I'm going to hand the screen over to Nancy. She has our prayer of plenitude this morning. Thank you, Nancy.
I invite you to join me now for our prayer of plenitude as we welcome and accept the glorious abundance this day and every day. Take a deep breath, breathing in love and light. Hold it gently. Now release it slowly as you connect through your heart with our message of prosperity. We come together today, opening our hearts and minds to the one Spirit, the light, infinite mind, knowing that there is only one power and one life, and that is the life of Spirit. We affirm that we are one with Spirit, and there is no one, nothing that is separate from this oneness. We are one with that infinite mind that has created all that is. We know that the divine qualities of peace, of power, of plenty, of wisdom are already within each of us, and we embrace those qualities now. We step forward into this new year with love and anticipation, standing in the truth of who and what we are, saying yes to our prosperity, harmony, health, order, love, and our amazing expansion in all its forms. And with the greatest gratitude, we accept this transformation of consciousness for ourselves and our community. We know that it is done, and we give thanks. Now we release, we let go, and we let Spirit do its perfect work through us. We trust the universe to provide for us. It is done, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. And so it is to feel into that divine flow. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand the screen back over to Brittany for our final song this morning. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you. And thank you, Nancy. That meditation really helped me to get into my body and feel the moment. One of the really profound things about this song that I think is I Hope You Dance is I was really thinking about how when we are dancing or any activity that is really, when we're dancing, we are really feeling the moment that we're in, which is the theme of this year, is feeling the present moment. And any time that we can really engage in an activity like that, that is life. That is really, truly being and existing and connecting to our most divine selves and divine other and everything. So I think there's something more profound about I Hope You Dance than just dancing. It's a very real and spiritual thing. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And choice to sit it out or dance. I hope you 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 still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, dance. I hope you 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 dance.
One of my favorites.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. I love that song. Thank you so much, Brittany. We're so
Thank
grateful
you.
for you. Thank you both, Nancy and Brittany, for setting the tone for us this morning, for laying this beautiful foundation for us to launch off into the morning, activating the space with your love and your joy and your essence. We love you. We bless you. We're so grateful for you. Thank you for being with us this morning. It has been divine. Mwah. We love you. So, everybody, it is so fabulous that we have Dr. Dennis Bradford here today. He is bringing us the message Homo Spiritus, and Dr. Bradford has been with us a couple of times before. He has two recent books, Living Well, according to David R. Hawkins, and Love is Being. And if you're familiar, we've had this conversation before about calibrations. They calibrate at 600 on Hawkins' map of the energy levels of consciousness. And they're also available on Amazon. Dennis was recently selected for inclusion on the marquee Who's Who, and he intends to encourage us to practice as well as to think. And he's going to be available today for Q&A after his talk. So we're going to just wrap it up here after the talk and move over to the Zoom room where everybody is invited. The link is on our website, unityinspiredliving.org. You'll see a picture of Dennis, and then a picture or a little picture, I think it's of the ocean or the sky or something, and then a link into that Zoom room, and I'll drop it here in the Facebook live stream chat. So we'll conclude here this morning when Dennis finishes, and then we'll move over to the Zoom room for that deeper dive Q&A, and he can answer your questions and respond to all your feedback. So we are going to pray in, and then I'm going to hand the screen right over to Dennis for our message this morning. So I invite you to move into your center and come together in this moment, acknowledging that we are together today in this sacred space of community, grateful for the divine presence that is ever within us, guiding us, grounding us amidst all the changes in life. And we center ourselves in peace, knowing that as we surrender to the unfolding mystery, we are held in infinite love and wisdom. And we bless Dennis, surrounding him with light and love and thanksgiving, and open our hearts and our minds to the inspired message that he is bringing forth through his beingness today and touching our hearts with. In gratitude, we affirm our oneness with Spirit and the eternal peace that flows in, through, and as us. And I release this word into the great expanse of love, in love, for love, and as love. Ashe. Amen. Namaste. Thank you, Dennis, for being here. I'm going to hand the screen over to you now.
If you sometimes experience abiding bliss for more than 90 minutes, this talk isn't for you. I'm not a sage. I'm just an experienced philosopher. The word philosopher means lover of wisdom, so being a philosopher is not necessarily the same as being wise. Philosophers who are successful, who become wise, are called sages. Sages live in abiding bliss. That's living well. Don't confuse abiding bliss with the ordinary concept of joy, which is temporary and has an opposite, namely sorrow. Those who master life early may live in uninterrupted, abiding bliss for decades. Suppose you want to transcend personhood to sagehood. How might you be able to do that? I don't know. Again, I'm not a sage. However, if a loved one asked me for my opinion, I'd offer it. It's simple. Let go of all thoughts. Think less, live better. That's what all sages teach. A few examples. Esther Beizhang lived from 720 to 814 in China. When he was asked the proper way to practice to live well, he replied, quote, "Don't cling, don't seek," end quote. In other words, be still. Similarly, quoting from the NIV translation of the Bible, Psalm 46, verse 10, answers this way: "Be still and know that I am God," end quote. Incidentally, in case you're interested, a few days ago I did a video on that verse on my Iron Ox Wisdom YouTube channel. Ramana Maharshi taught that the absence of thought is the criterion of spiritual progress. Lesson 202 in the workbook for A Course in Miracles reads, quote, "I will be still an instant and go home," end quote. Thoughts are opinions. As Doc Hawkins says in The Eye of the Eye, quote, "All opinions are worthless," end quote. Why? Quote, "Reality is infinite, whereas thought is finite," end quote. So the reality created by thought doesn't exist. It's not real. The reality of thought isn't real. It's not reality. The thoughts that may be swirling around as you listen to this talk are worthless. Thinking is a kind of doing. When we think, we're not being still internally. When we're not being still, we're alienated from our true nature. That's why all psychological suffering is unnecessary. It's optional. It always comes from separation. When we're separated from our true nature, our essence, what we are, we suffer. We're dissatisfied, uneasy, distressed, unsatisfied, unfulfilled. Thinking is judging or conceptualizing. It always has a subject-object structure or split or separation. That's another way to think why all opinions are worthless. Sages have transcended duality to unity. Thinking is dualistic. To think is to conceptualize this or that. That's a tree or it's not a tree. Very simple. No suffering is bliss. No separation is no suffering. It's not easy to let go so thoroughly, to enjoy no thought. Stop thinking to enjoy being. Perhaps I may be able to help in two ways, if that's what you're trying to do. First, if you request it, I'll give you a list of sages and their teachings, as well as how they were selected. Just email me, dennis@endfearfast.com. Shoot me an email, dennis@endfearfast.com, and request it. I'll send it back to you as a PDF attachment. Second, I'll describe in what follows in this talk how I transcend thought in case you want to do the same. There's no one size that fits all. Over more than 30 years, I've worked out what works at least fairly well for me. Here's my justification for what I'm about to say. Why not make it as easy as possible on yourself? Why not be kind to yourself? How? Well, reverse the way that non-sages live. They almost never are still, and they resist being still as much as possible. They live by thinking involuntarily and compulsively, almost exclusively about the future or about the past, with occasional brief visits to the present, perhaps. Sages, on the other hand, live in the present, and for practical purposes only, occasionally visit the past and the present. The future and the past. So right now, let's practice living as sages live. If you notice any useless thoughts, which I just said are usually about the past or the future, stop clinging to them. Drop them. Just let them go. If you don't develop them or make them into a story, which is what non-sages like us, or at least like me, typically do, they'll disappear. Instead of engaging with them, fully attend to the present moment. Bliss comes from stillness. That's a simple idea. It's 4 words. Bliss comes from stillness. The more you're still, the more you'll be blissful. At least for us non-sages, and I'm assuming you're in my category, it's easier for us to experience bliss when we're still. Sages don't have to be still. They're always blissful, at least fully enlightened sages. What's the easiest way to practice stillness? That's really the content of this talk. It's not a matter of simply swirling around more ideas. It's a matter of letting go of all ideas. We are in part body minds, and let's base it on that. And I'll give you my answer to the question, what's the easiest way to practice stillness? And what I recommend that you do, if you're looking for such a practice, is test it for yourself. As a matter of fact, I recommend that you do it right now. If you can hear my voice and get away from your computer, please do that. The first part is simple and very relaxing. Still the body to aid in stilling the mind. there are three postures: standing, sitting, and lying. Since stilling the body aids in stilling thoughts, how do those three relate to the three stilling thoughts? In other words, how do the three body postures relate to stilling thoughts? Well, standing, you can't do that very long. Go ahead, stand still for 5 minutes and see what you feel like. You can't wait to move again. It takes practice to do that, and it's very difficult. Standing is not a good way uh, uh, to practice stillness. It can't last very long. What about sitting, like we're doing now? Well, you've probably heard, like I have, that it's not good for us. It simply isn't good for us. If you have a job where you sit for hours every day, it's a good idea to get up and move at least every 20 minutes. If you sit in meditation, especially in a classic cross-legged posture, it's not easy. And as a matter of fact, it's painful. And when I use the word pain, I'm talking about physical pain. Your legs will go numb. I worked myself to the point where I could sit cross-legged in full lotus for an hour as an adult. That was just ego. That was nuts. You unfold your legs and they're numb and you can't even move. It's dangerous to stand up, much less try to walk. That's a good way to sprain your ankle. You have to stretch your legs and let the blood flow return. And what's your body telling you? It's telling you that this is not a good position for your body. Well, guess what? Two of the three are gone: standing and sitting. That leaves lying down. I want you to lie down. I want you to lie down right now and try this if you've never tried it. If you lie back, lie down, lie on your back. Don't think about it now. Don't just take these words, try them, test them, see what happens. It's ideal if you have a recliner. Those are one of the most useful inventions ever made. Lie back in the recliner, sit in the recliner and lie back on it. If you don't have a recliner, that's no big deal. Lie on the floor or lie on your bed. I recommend putting a pillow of some kind under your knees. And if you do that, that'll take the tension off your lower back. You may want a small pillow under your head too. So just, if you have a moment and you can hear my voice, do that. I'll talk you through how to do this. And you already see, I hope, how much easier it is than standing or sitting. Lie back on your back. All right, you have a pillow under your knees, I hope, or a rolled up blanket or something to get your backs of your knees off the ground. That'll take the tension off your lower back. Something under your head. Put your knees together, press them together, and then relax them. Let them go. Put your upper arms against your torso and relax your upper arms. Where should you put your hands? Wherever it's comfortable. You may find on the top of your hips is very comfortable. That's normally where I do it. Or perhaps just lying next to your body with your hands next to your body. That's fine too. It doesn't matter. Just lie back. All right? That's physical stillness. You're all familiar with the position. You presumably do it fairly frequently. And it's a perfectly natural position, and it's a lot easier to hold that position and be still without moving around. Keep your neck straight. You can close your eyes, that's fine. And just lie in that position. Can you do that for 15 minutes, half an hour, an hour? Sure, no problem. Can you sit cross-legged in full lotus for an hour? Probably not. Okay. If you can, you probably force yourself to do it. It's not easy to do. Make it easy on yourself. Why make this hard? The only reason they sit up is so you won't fall asleep. Well, guess what? If you need to fall asleep, you're not taking very good care of yourself. You're not getting enough rest. Okay, if you fall asleep, fall asleep. Who cares? It doesn't matter. You need to rest. That's the easy part. If you're relaxed now, if you're lying back, if you're listening to my voice, just relax. All right. Second part, still the mind. This is what's much more difficult because your thoughts are always moving. Think of part of stillness is silence. Silence is auditory stillness. So we want silence, but think of your thoughts as noisy. If your thoughts are noisy and you're paying attention to them, that's the opposite of silence. It's not stillness. So the question is, how can you still the mind? Well, stilling the body helps. You don't have to look around. You don't have to worry about walking into a tree or a wall or tripping over something. You don't have to pay attention to anything physical. Just breathe naturally. There's no special way that you have to breathe. As you relax, your breathing will naturally get quieter and deeper and slower. All right. The classic way to begin to relax your thoughts is through breathing. We're always breathing. It's always there. We're always, at least I hope you are, inhaling and exhaling. All right. The classic way to begin that is simply by counting the breath. You can count from 1 to 10. You probably all know this and have done this. Okay. 1 as you inhale, 2 as you exhale, 3 as you inhale, 4 as you exhale, and so on. Go to 10, and then go back to 1. That's all it is. Count your inhalations and exhalations. That's a little meditative or spiritual technique that will help you pay attention. Thoughts are going to come in. Do not try to force them down. Do not try not to think. That's not the answer. That's not the way to do it. Here's the way to do it. When you notice a thought, just drop it. Don't engage with it. Let it go. Think of it like you're lying on your back looking at a cloudless blue sky and a cloud moves across the sky. Well, let it move. It'll just float away. All thoughts will float away. As soon as you notice some distracting thought, let it go. Don't engage with it. Go back to your counting. Once you can count your inhalations and exhalations without being too distracted for 15 or 20 minutes, then simply go ahead and count only the exhalations. That's the classic standard way that Zazen, which is the distinctive spiritual practice of Zen Buddhism, is taught. All right, just practice. How long will it take before you can go 15 or 20 minutes counting only your exhalations without getting too distracted, without getting lost in some thought train? Well, I don't know. Maybe the first time you do it, you can do it. Maybe it'll take you 6 months. Doesn't matter. Just relax. It's stop thinking of it as a goal. What we're doing now is related to some future goal, but if you're thinking about the future goal, there is no future. It's just in your thoughts. Future is just a set of imaginary thoughts. There is no future. That's why it's better to let go of goals and focus on good habits. If you develop good habits, the future is going to take care of itself. And now what we're doing is developing a good habit to be still. All right, you probably know about focusing on your breathing. You may not know about focusing on aliveness. It feels good to be alive, and if you don't feel good while you're lying back, focusing on your breathing, that's because you're not enjoying the aliveness. Every cell in your body is alive. And the reason that we don't usually feel it when we're moving around is because we're so busy doing things. That's not the way to wisdom. The way to wisdom is through non-attachment. Non-attachment permits full engagement. It's not detachment where you somehow separate yourself from the world. Non-attachment is letting go internally. It's not passivity. It's not letting things happen to you if they're bad things, anything like that. No. It's simply not resisting whatever it is that you don't like in the present moment. When you let it go and stop disliking it, that's letting go of the thought that whatever's happening is something that you don't like. So an intensity practice, and this is the way I think of it, when the analogy would be to uh, in a gym, when you do basic exercises, like say you do uh, presses or curls or something like that, there are techniques for increasing the intensity of the exercise. Well, this is a kind of exercise or practice, and I've found that the best way that I've ever found to increase the intensity is to focus on the aliveness. And you may not know what the aliveness is. You may never have felt it before. Tola is the highest, the current sage with the highest personal calibration. He frequently talks about it, but it goes back a long way. And by that, I mean 2,500 years or so, at least. The aliveness is there. And if you focus on your motionless hand or foot, for example, you can begin to feel the aliveness. If your eyes are closed and you hold your hand up like this, close your eyes. Why do you think you still have a hand? Well, think of the sensations coming from your hand. And if you will attend to that or to the sensations in your feet, um, if you've never felt the aliveness before, do that for 5 minutes a day for a week or two until you begin to, oh, you say, there it is. I felt that occasionally before. Well, if you focus on it, while you're focusing your breathing coming in and out, you'll soon be able to feel the aliveness in your feet and your legs and your hands and your arms and your shoulders and your face and your chest and your torso. And then what I recommend is connect the aliveness awareness that you're now able to feel with the breathing, so that when you inhale, you start with your feet and notice the aliveness in your feet, in your lower legs, and your upper legs, all the way up to your face. When you exhale, reverse it. You begin with the aliveness you're feeling in your face, in your shoulders, down your arms, down your torso, into your upper legs, lower legs, and feet. Inhale and exhale. And that's a kind of intensity technique for breathing. Now, what will happen if you master this is that you will find yourself, whenever you're still, immediately, or at least after a few minutes, feeling the aliveness. If you suffer from, for example, chronic insomnia, you have trouble falling asleep at night, or you wake up at night, you know your mind's out of control. You're not controlling your mind. It's controlling you. It's keeping you awake when you don't want to be awake. Well, if you will substitute the wave and pay attention to that instead of your thoughts, you'll also let go of whatever's troubling you. Perhaps your insomnia or your prolonged negative emotions or whatever it is. It's easy. Right now, if you're lying back, as I hope you are, or at least sitting there with your eyes closed and being still, just pay attention to the silence between the words, like now. And again, let's do it again, like now. It's always there. Those gaps are moments of stillness, void, emptiness. Stillness is the context of all the contents of consciousness. Let all the contents go. None of them are your true nature. You are not the contents of consciousness. You are not the contents. You are the context. You and I essentially are the context of all content. Without that empty context, there could be no content. That context is called by various names, including being with a capital B. It's pure awareness. It's subject-object identity as opposed to subject-object duality, which is characteristic of body-mind. It's limitlessly pervading everything. There is no separation in being. Yes, of course, you and I are body-minds, animated skin bags, persons, personalities. However, that's the least important part of our identity. What we essentially are is being, and being is stillness. Not realizing that is suffering. I didn't say thinking it, I said realizing it. And the way to realize it is to let go of all thinking. Realizing it is bliss. The wave is one window or doorway to being. Being is not nothing. It's what permits or contains everything. In fact, it's the fecund source of everything. It may be thought of not as emptiness, but as allness with a capital A. The eternal self with a capital S. That's Huang Po's great insight. It's not nothingness, it's allness. Awakening is the shift in consciousness from personal to impersonal. Awakening fully is backing up from all the contents of consciousness to pure awareness of consciousness itself. Our essential nature is allness. There's nothing we lack. We think we do, and that's what creates suffering. When you realize, we realize, that there's nothing we lack, we're not separated from anything, and there's no more psychological suffering. It's over. There's nothing to do, there's nothing to gain, there's nothing to accomplish. Realizing that is bliss. So again, stop focusing on goals. They're just imaginary thoughts about the future. It doesn't exist. Instead, focus on present habits. Focus on letting go of thoughts. We are, as Hawkins teaches, Homo spiritus. Body minds with the capacity for direct or non-conceptual apprehension of being. Therefore, think less, live better. As the saying from the Buddhist tradition puts it, let go and let Buddha.
Thank you so much, Dennis. We're so grateful for you and all the insight you bring to us. There's actually so much to dive into, but I know that we are going to save that for the Zoom room. So everybody, thank you for your contributions, for your exchange here in the chat. I've seen all the comments. Thank you, Carol, for taking notes. Luinda said, reality of thought is not real. Stop clinging to thought. I'm loving this message. Yes. Thank you for being here, everybody. Okay, so that there's a lot there to unpack, let's say. So we're going to do that in the Zoom room. I'm going to drop the link here in the chat. It's also on the website, unityinspiredliving.org. So we're going to wrap up here by closing with our prayer of divine awakening. Before that, I want to remind you that we are completely supported by your generous contributions, and we get to decide how we create that flow and energetic exchange in our life, how we participate in the giving and receiving. And we create our life by this energetic exchange. And so if you feel on the receiving end of inspiration and restoration and peace and joy, consider visiting our giving page on our website, unityinspiredliving.org. I am going to pull up our prayer of divine awakening so we can close with that, and allow yourselves to feel, know, be the essence of this prayer and even speak it out loud. It creates a vibrational frequency that is important, which I know we're going to talk about this in the Zoom room Q&A. So let's pull that up on the screen, and I invite you to speak this out for your life, for your day. Sharing screen. That's what I'm intending to do right now. There it goes. The prayer of divine awakening. It's a new day, a beautiful day, a new beginning. I embrace this day with new eyes, an open heart, and expansive mind. I choose my vibrational frequency deliberately and consciously, harmonizing with life's events. I am receptive to source energy, divine guidance, and wisdom available to me at all times. I commit to serve unconditional love fully and completely. I move forward in a state of appreciation, an extension of the one magnificent power and presence. I am sovereign, whole, and free, claiming dominion over my life as I go in peace and awaken to my divinity. And so it is. Bright beings, shine on. Thank you, Dennis, for being with us. We're so grateful for you and look forward to deep diving here in 30 minutes in the Zoom room from 11:30 to 12:30 Pacific time, 2:30 to 3:30 Eastern time. We will be there ready for a conversation, a dialogue. So we look forward to seeing you. Thank you, Dennis. Blessings. We will see you in 30 minutes, everybody.